Welcome and good evening. My name is Kamish Orr, and tonight we are in Game 6 of the Baseball Maelstrom World Series between the Detroit Rockets and the St. Louis Wizards. Detroit had taken a 3-1 lead. However, in the final game in Detroit, the Wizards beat the Rockets in dramatic fashion. Tonight, we're back in St. Louis for Game 6. And we are in a repeat of the starters from Game 3. Frank Tanana and Steve Carlton. So let's take a look and see what happened in their last outing. Carlton was great in this game. 8 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, struck out 10. Frank Tanana, not so much. 5 1/3 and allowed 7 earned runs. St. Louis beat the Rockets in Game 3, 7-3 for their first victory of the series. Now, though, we're in St. Louis with these same two starters, and we'll see how they fare this time. As a reminder, Frank Tanana was 6-4 on the season with a 5.38 ERA. Carlton, 8-4 with a 2.97 ERA. With 4 shutouts during the season. So let's get things set up here for Game 6. Taking a look at the starting lineups for the Rockets. Leading off is Kenny Lofton in center field. Ichiro Suzuki batting second in right field. Alex Rodriguez playing shortstop and batting third. Dick Allen at first base and in the cleanup spot. Manny Ramirez back in the lineup, playing left field and batting fifth. Thurman Munson batting sixth and catching. Charlie Blackwell DHing and in the seventh spot. Adrian Beltre batting eighth and playing third base. And batting ninth is Bobby Grich, who's been great this series, playing second base. Now for the Wizards. Wizards with the lineup they use against left-handed starters. A little bit different than their normal lineup. Oscar Charleston in center field leading off. Orlando Cepeda is playing first base and batting second. Chipper Jones playing third base and batting third. Stan Musial in the cleanup spot, playing left field. Stan with a better game yesterday. Larry Walker in right field batting fifth. Tony Gwynn DHing in the sixth spot. Mike Piazza behind the plate batting seventh. He had 2 homers in Game 3. Rogers Hornsby playing second base and batting eighth. And last but not least, Ozzie Smith is the shortstop batting ninth. So we are ready for the first pitch. That's going to be a tough 46, and Lofton strikes out to lead off the game. That brings up Ichiro. Wizards face an elimination in this one again, down 3-2, hoping to force a Game 7. Tough 88, and that is going to be a ground out to Hornsby for out number 2. Alex Rodriguez. Tough 57, and that's strikeout number 2 for Carlton to end the inning. 1-2-3. Oh, the Rockets will have to solve Carlton if they want to end things tonight. Oscar Charleston stepping in against Frank Tanana. Let's see if Tanana can have a better game than he did in Game 3. Patient 28, and that is going to be a leadoff walk for Charleston. A 4 jump, and Oscar Charleston's jump rating is 5. Let's see if 81 is probably not good enough. So a 5 and a 7. 5 and a 7. Nope, he stays put. Cepeda. Tough 8, and so Orlando Cepeda strikes out for the first out of the inning. You watch it strike 3 on 8s, 9s, and 0s. I call it a strikeout looking. Chipper Jones. Tough 20, and that's going to be another strikeout looking. Tanana kind of on a roll here. Charleston still on first. Tough 94, and that is going to end the inning as Stan flies out to right for out number 3. Dick Allen. Patient 7, Allen is able to draw a walk here. And the Rockets have their first base runner of the game. Dick Allen is not going to attempt to get a jump here. And that brings up Manny Ramirez, who's only 2 for 13 this series. Defense check. Third base error. That's not going to be good. And that is going to be an error on Chipper Jones. Not able to come up with that one cleanly. And just like that, we have runners on first and second with no outs. Thurman Munson steps in. Ballpark. It's usually dangerous, but it's in play. In play 19 is still going to be a single. Let's see where to. That's the single to center. I think that's going to score. Single to center in play 7 or above. That is not going to score Allen, actually. And Allen holds up at third base. Actually, since it was within 1, oh no, in plays I don't. In play it has to be, the number has to work. So that loads the bases though for Charlie Blackwell. Tough 22, and that's a strikeout. Just what Carlton needed. Infield was in. Corners are in now for Adrian Beltre. Tough 79, and that is a fly out to center. Tough means that it is a shallow fly. And that's not going to score anybody either. Allen holds up. Bases are still loaded, though, for Bobby Grich. Tough 19, and that is going to be another strikeout to end the inning. Carlton, facing bases loaded and no outs, gets out of the jam with 2 strikeouts. So the Rockets, with their best chance to score there so far, come up short. Way to the bottom of the second. Larry Walker. And Walker strikes out. That's the 3rd strikeout for Tanana, and that's another one caught looking here. Tony Gwynn. Tough 76. And Gwynn is going to fly out to Lofton in center for out number 2. Mike Piazza. He had Tanana's number in game 3. This time, though, he flies out to Lofton there in center for out number 3. A 1-2-3 inning for the Wizards. We head to the top of the 3rd, still no score. Kenny Lofton faces Carlton. And that's going to be another strikeout for Carlton, his 5th. Ichiro Suzuki. Patient 45. And that's going to be a base hit for Ichiro. That's a single. Ichiro on first. 1 down. Ichiro may try to get a jump here. 7-7. 28. I believe he's going to try to steal here. 7-7, 28. And he will try to steal. Piazza with a terrible arm. B4, 68. B4, 68. And that is going to be a stolen base. Ichiro into second. Let's see if he's not going to try for third. So just like that, they have a runner in scoring position with 1 out for Alex Rodriguez. In play 44. That is going to be a ground out to Cepeda at first. And Ichiro will move over to third on the play. 2 outs. Ichiro on third, and Dick Allen steps in. And that's going to be yet another strikeout. That's the 6th strikeout for Carlton. And that ends the top of the 3rd. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. Hornsby, the hero of yesterday's game, stepping in against Tanana. But he is going to strike out. And that's Tanana's 4th strikeout of the game. That brings up Ozzie Smith. Tough 85. And that is going to be an easy ground out to Gritch. Over to Allen for out number 2. Charleston, the leadoff hitter. Tough 36, and that is yet another strikeout. That's the 5th strikeout for Tanana. These two have combined for 11 strikeouts already through 3 innings. So Carlton, top of the 4th, will face Manny Ramirez here. And that is dangerous. That is a wheelhouse 37, and that is going to be deep. And that's a home run for Manny Ramirez. The Rockets take a 1-0 lead against Steve Carlton. St. Louis fans quiet. Thurman Munson steps in. That is another ballpark result. This one is going to be an in play, though. Righties don't have a great power alley there in Sportsman Park from the 1948 Sportsman Park. So that's an in play 3, though. That's going to be a double for Munson, though. And Munson has a 3. He is not going to go anywhere. Charlie Blackwell. Patient 33, and that is another double. Back-to-back doubles, and just like that, the Rockets are up 2-0. As Carlton allows 3 straight hits here to start the 4th. Let's see if Blackwell goes anywhere. He does not. Adrian Beltre. Patient 38, and that is another base hit. It's a base hit to center. Charleston in center. Blackwell with some speed. It's less than 6. He's going to try for it. He is going to try for it. 7 is between the two, so we have to roll percentage to see if he's safe at home. 20. And he is out at the plate. So Beltre, who singled, but Blackwell trying to score on the play. It's gunned down at the plate. By Charleston. Now Beltre, it did say other runners advance. So Beltre will take second on the throw. But there's now one down, and Beltre is on second. Bobby Grich in play 48, and Grich lines out to Ozzie Smith at short. Back to the top of the order, Kenny Lofton in play 31. That's going to be another base hit, and this one's going to score Beltre. And just like that, the Rockets are up 3-0 here in the fourth inning. Lofton will not look to get a jump. Ichiro Suzuki. Tough 75. And that is going to be a force at second for out number 3. Ozzie Smith over to Hornsby. Carlton, who was so great in Game 3, shows his weakness here in Game 6, and the Rockets take a 3-0 lead. Tanana will face Cepeda to start off the fourth. Tough 23, and that is another strikeout. Chipper Jones. Tough. That is another strikeout. That's the third straight strikeout for Tanana. Brings up Stan Musial. Tough 84. And that's going to be a ground out to Grich at second for out number 3. The Wizards scoreless through 4. Carlton still on the mound, seeing if he can rebound from a terrible fourth inning. He faces Alex Rodriguez. Tough 86. And Rodriguez will ground off to Ozzie Smith for the first out of the inning. Dick Allen, he's 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout today. Tough 92. And he flies out to left here, and Stan is under that one for out number 2. Manny Ramirez, who started things last inning with a solo homer, will step in with 2 down. Tough 73, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Carlton as Ramirez flies out to Charleston in center. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Rockets still up 3-0. Tanana deals to Larry Walker. Patient 84. And that is beyond Walker's good range in Patient. And instead, he is going to fly out to Lofton in center. Tony Gwynn. Tough 39. And Gwynn is going to pop that one up to Rodriguez at short for out number 2. Mike Piazza trying to get something started here for St. Louis. Tough 84. And that is a ground out to short. And just like that, we are through the 5th inning. Carlton facing Thurman Munson. Tough 89. Munson, who was 2 for 2 today so far, grounds this one to short for the first out of the inning. Charlie Blackwell. Blackwell hitting .435 this series. Tough 91, and this time he's going to ground that one to Hornsby for out number 2. Beltre. He's 1 for 2 today. Only hitting .158 in the series. Tough 28, and Carlton strikes him out. That's Carlton's first strikeout since the 3rd inning. His 7th, though, of the game. And we head to the bottom of the 6th. Tanana will face Hornsby. Tough 37. And that is a pop out to Dick Allen there at first for out number 1. Ozzie Smith. Tough 40. That is a ground out back to the pitcher. Tanana flips it over to Allen for out number 2. Oscar Charleston. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout today. Patient 81. That is beyond his patient range. And he flies out to Lofton in center for the 3rd out. We head to the 7th. The Rockets still up 3-0. Bobby Grich, 0 for 2 today, facing Steve Carlton. In play 90. And that's going to be a ground out to short for out number 1. Back to the top of the order. Lofton, who had an RBI single in the 4th inning. In play 48. This time he pops that one out, pops that one back to Piazza, who hauls it in for out number 2. Ichiro. That's another defense. Range, second base. Hornsby that's going to get through for a single. Ichiro, his second hit of the day, 2 for 4. And he is not going anywhere. Alex Rodriguez. Tough 27. That's going to be another strikeout. That's Carlton's 8th strikeout of the game. And we head to the bottom of the 7th. 7th inning stretch here. The Rockets with a 3-0 lead over the Wizards. Do or die here for the Wizards. Orlando Cepeda facing Frank Tanana. Tough 13, and that is another strikeout. That is the 8th for Tanana. Cepeda has struck out all 3 times he's been up. Chipper Jones. Tough 64. And that is a fly out to left. Ramirez hauls that one in for the 2nd out of the inning. Stan Musial, that's a defense check. 3rd base error, that's likely going to be an error. It is not going to be an error, actually. Beltre is a 5 error rating. 33 is an out, so that is a pop out to 3rd. Beltre ranges under that one for out number 3. We head to the top of the 8th. Carlton will come out of this game. I hadn't moved this over yet. Forgive my animal noises in the background. So Carlton, 7 innings pitched. Did allow those 3 runs. And they're going to bring in John Smoltz, I believe. Or will they bring in Fergie Jenkins? Neither Smoltz or Jenkins have pitched in the last few days. They will bring in Fergie Jenkins, actually. All right, Fergie Jenkins in to pitch to Dick Allen. All right, Dick Allen in to face Jenkins. In play 26, and that is a leadoff single for Dick Allen. Dick Allen batting .269 this series. He is going to maybe attempt to steal here. 4 with a 7 hold. Likely is going to attempt to steal. 4 with a 7 hold. This is 0 to 56, so he is going to attempt to steal here. C4, 27. He's going to probably be thrown out here. He's safe. As that first number in the safe range, 27. So Allen into second base here with a steal. Not going anywhere else, though. Manny Ramirez. He's staying in here. In play 24, and that's a base hit. Base hit to left. I don't think that Nah, he would need an 8 or above, and Allen only has a 6 running. So we have runners on the corners here with no outs. Jenkins into some trouble. Thurman Munson in play 14, and that is another base hit. Ramirez with no speed holds up at second, but that's going to be another run. And that is going to be all for Fergie Jenkins. Do or die game here. They are not allowing things to get out of hand if they can help it. So that brings in, they're going to bring in John Smoltz here to try to stop the bleeding here. Still no outs. First and second. Charlie Blackwell at the plate. And Blackwell strikes out. Looking. That's going to be out number 1. Adrian Beltre. Patient 63. Beltre isn't very patient. That is a fly out to Walker. Ramirez again does not have any speed, so he holds at second. And that's out number 2. Bobby Grich. Patient, and that is a rare play. Let's see what kind of rare play it is. 29. Runners on base, Patient 29. Catcher with a C, D, or F range. Piazza does have a C. Catcher with C, D, or F range gets crossed up and misses the pitch. Runners advance 1 base on a pass ball. So that's going to be a pass ball. As if things couldn't get any worse, we now have runners on second and third with 2 out. And we re-roll, I believe, 29. Re-roll percentage and resolve on the patient section. So we're just going to re-roll the percentage here. 13, and that's going to be a walk to load the bases. So bases are loaded. Kenny Lofton is up to bat. 2 outs. And he strikes him out. As a clutch strikeout there for John Smoltz. As this would have gotten out of hand in a hurry. We head to the bottom of the 8th. And I know what you're looking at, and I'm not going to say anything. Larry Walker up to bat against Tanana. And that's probably going to be a home run. Wheelhouse. And Larry Walker with the first hit of the game for the Wizards. I knew I shouldn't have even said anything. Frank Tanana had a no-hitter going into the 8th here. And with 1 swing, Larry Walker not only eliminated the no-hitter, but eliminated the shutout as well. Rockets still with a 4-1 lead. Tanana will stay in to pitch against Gwynn. In play 18, and that's a single for Tony Gwynn. The Rockets not going to take any chances here. Up 4-1 in the 8th inning in St. Louis. And they are going to have Dan Quisenberry come into this game. Actually, this is even more over because of the off day. There we go. The same thing with St. Louis here because they had the extra off day in there. So actually, it's like this. All right. So Dan Quisenberry coming in to relieve Tanana, who did everything you could have asked for. And Quisenberry has been very, very good, not only during the regular season, but also in the postseason. So Tony Gwynn, 6 and a 6, he has a 3 hold. And Gwynn may attempt here. You know, I'm going to make an executive decision and say Gwynn's not going to go anywhere. Though maybe he would because of Piazza. He did lead the league in steals, so let's just try it. On an 8 means he's going to attempt B2 87. B2 87, that's a steal. Okay. So Gwynn takes second. And that brings up Mike Piazza. Patient 45. And that's a base hit for Piazza. Since it's a patient, Gwynn is likely going to stay put at third. Yes, he is. So we have runners on the corners with no outs. And suddenly the Rockets have a chance, or excuse me, the Wizards have a chance here to do something. Piazza with no speed. And he is not an important run, so they're not going to pinch run for him yet. Rogers Hornsby. Tough, and it's actually, you add 10 on his tough chances, so it's tough 65, which would have been a base hit, but instead is a ground out to second, and that's going to be a double play. It's going to score Gwynn. Yeah, they wouldn't have been, they would have just had the corners in anyway, so second base wouldn't have mattered. So Gwynn scores, but that clears the bases. And Ozzie Smith would be the hitter. With nobody on base, they're going to let him bat. Tough 39. Because we have to add 10, and that is a pop out to third for out number 3. We head to the 9th. John Smoltz will face Ichiro Suzuki. The Wizards facing what could be the last inning of their season. Patient 46. That's going to be another base hit for Suzuki. He's 3 for 5 today. After a slow start to the series. Ichiro not looking to steal, and that brings up Alex Rodriguez. Smoltz in there to pitch at least to Rodriguez. Tough 46, that's going to be a strikeout. The team has 6, 7, 8. That's the 10th strikeout for the Wizards pitching staff. Brings up Dick Allen here, who is 1 for 3 today with a walk and a single. Tough 44, that is another strikeout. Strikeout number 11. Manny Ramirez steps in. He's 2 for 4. He had a key home run there in the 4th inning. Patient 52. That is going to be a base hit. And Ichiro heads over to third on this one. So we have runners on the corners for Thurman Munson, who's 3 for 4 today. Smoltz trying to get out of this one. Tough 25, and he does. That's another strikeout. He strikes out the side. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Tom Henke is in to close things out for Detroit. Henke led the American League in saves. He will have to face the top of the St. Louis order here. Charleston, Cepeda, and Chipper Jones. Charleston. Tough 77, and that is a fly out to center. Lofton hauls that one in for out number 1. Cepeda will not hit. He's 0 for 8 this series, and he's struck out 3 times this game. Let's see who will hit. Willie McCovey. Tim Raines, that's another good possibility. I think Tim Raines will hit. Or Willie McCovey, maybe. Actually going to go to Tim Raines. Tim Raines into pinch hit for Cepeda. Raines with great speed. Henke deals. Tough 81. And that is another fly out to Lofton in center. And the Wizards are down to their final out. Chipper Jones. It all comes down to Chipper Jones here against Tom Henke. The Wizards trying to keep this postseason alive. Henke deals. Tough 52. And that's going to be a strikeout. 52 is in the strikeout range for Henke here, since it's not a base hit. And Chipper Jones strikes out to end the game and the season for the Wizards. The Rockets win 4-2 and take the World Series 4-2. Tanana gets the win. Quisenberry gets the hold. Henke gets the save. Carlton gets the loss. Let's take a look at the box score. Tanana, again, took that no-hitter into the 8th. 7 innings pitched, only 2 hits allowed, struck out 8. He did walk Charleston to lead off the game. 2 earned runs. One of those was after he left, but I think we have to give him the player of the game here for taking that no-hitter into the 8th inning and totally shutting down the St. Louis offense. Carlton, not too bad of a game, actually. 7 innings pitched, 8 hits, but 3 earned runs. He did strike out 8. Smoltz actually struck out 5 in his 2 innings. So Detroit struck out 13 times, but in the end, it really didn't matter, as they had 13 hits. Quisenberry had his second hold with a scoreless inning, and Tom Henke picked up his second save with his scoreless inning. On the offensive side, we had Ichiro was 3 for 5. Manny Ramirez was 3 for 5 with that home run. Thurman Munson was 3 for 5. And on the Wizards side, the only 3 hits in the game were Walker, Gwynn, and Piazza. Walker 1 for 3, and Gwynn was 1 for 3. Walker with that home run, that solo shot that ended the no-hitter. I thought, actually, folks, that something very magical was going to happen tonight, but it didn't. In any event, that's the score here. 4-2 Rockets. Rockets 4 runs on 13 hits and no errors. St. Louis 2 runs on just 3 hits and 1 error. The Rockets totally outplayed the Wizards here in St. Louis, and there will be no Game 7. All right, well, let me know what you think about that. Leave me some comments. Let me know your thoughts. I will have another video where I recap the World Series stats here. I'll go over all the World Series stats in a little recap. That will be a separate video after I have time to kind of crunch through them a little bit. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If so, consider clicking the like button. Consider subscribing to the channel. I have a couple of projects coming up. Another one with Payoff Pitch. I'm not sure exactly what that one will look like yet. I had a blast doing this, playing this 54-game series with 8 teams, and Out of those 8 teams, the winner of it all was a team made up of non-Hall of Famers. The Detroit Rockets, all American League non-Hall of Fame players. And they topped a Hall of Fame team in the St. Louis Wizards. So, once again, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you had a blast here. Let me know what you think. And until next time, have a great evening.